Alright, so continuing with this, we're now going to standard form. So in standard form, what I am doing is I am taking whatever my polynomial is and I'm putting it in order by degree. So let's say I had 3x plus 2 plus 5x to the second power. So I need to just look at the degree. So because this has no exponent, this is 0. Because this has one exponent and that exponent is 1, this is 1 and the exponent here is 2. I'm going to put them in the order from greatest to smallest, from biggest to littlest, from greatest to least. So I'm going to write 2 degree, which is 5x to the second power, plus 3x to the first power, plus 2. Now let's say I had 4x to the third power minus x to the fourth power. The minus doesn't mean anything for the exponents. The minus is for the coefficient. So I know the coefficient, the number in front of the variable, is a 1, but we don't have to worry about it. Because obviously this x to the fourth power is going to be first, I have to keep that negative. And so it's still going to become a negative and remain a negative. But I just am switching their places because 4 comes before 3. And because this doesn't have a negative, it's a positive. So I put a plus and then 4x to the third power. All right. So the next thing we're going to talk about is adding and subtracting. Polynomials. So when you're adding polynomials, you're looking at polynomials and combining their like terms. So let's say you had 3 plus 2x, and then you're adding that to 6 minus 4x. So I need to look and see what are my like terms. So I know because 2 has an x and negative 4 has an x, that means they're like terms. So I am going to combine them. And here, because I know 3 doesn't have a variable and 6 also doesn't have a variable, they're like terms. So if I have 2x and negative 4x, well, think about your negative and your positive animals, right? So some of you are sharks, some of you are dolphins, some of you are starfish. When you have your positive number and your negative animal, it's a positive and negative animal. So I'm going to choose lion and deer. So my positive is going to be deers and my negative is going to be lions. So that way no class feels like I'm, siding with them. So if I have 2 deers, and I don't care what you say about my deer, I know I can't draw. If I could have drawn, I would have been your art teacher. So if I have 2 deers and 4 lions, and only 1 lion gets to eat a deer, if I link them up together, who's going to win the fight? So my lions win, and I have 2 lions. So because lions are negative, that means I have negative 2. And I am going to put it in standard form one time because I know the variable comes before the constant. So I'm going to have negative 2x because I have to keep that variable. And then I just combine 3 plus 6, which I get 9. And that's the answer. Now let's go back and I'll use the same example. So I still have 3 plus 2x. But this time I have minus 6 minus 4x in parentheses. So this negative we talked about before, but just to remind you that this negative is a -1, and there's also a 1 in front here also. So when I distribute 1, when I multiply 1 out to everything that's in the parentheses, nothing changes. 1 times 3 is 3, and 1 times 2x is still 2x. But here I have a -1. So when I multiply -1 times 6, it does change and it becomes -6. And then when I multiply -1 times -4x, well, I know my numbers are going to link up, and a negative times a negative is a positive. So it's going to become positive 4x. So basically think about it that every time you have a negative there, you're just changing whatever the sign is on the inside. So now that I did that, I'm still going to have them going together. So I still have 3, but this time it's going to -6. And I still also have 2x, but this time it's going to positive 4x. So because I have 2 positive for my x's, now I can add them. So 6 plus 4 is, 2 plus 4 is 6. And then I get x because the variable remains the same. This time I have 3 minus 6. So I'm still keeping my deers and my lions. So let's say I have 3 deers, and I'll just write the letters so you can stop laughing at my drawings. So I have 3 deers. Sorry about that. That's a plum. So I have 3 deers, and I have 6 lions because I have -6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So same thing. The lions are gonna eat the deers that's there. And how many lions or deers are left back? So the lions ate all the deers, and so there's 1, 2, 3 hungry lions. So that means I have -3, and that is my answer. Okay, so I hope this helps with this part of the paper.